Good afternoon. My name is Sandra Archie. I'm from the Haigtum First Nation. Um, I was my hometown, my home reserve is Eskedunk, Esked. I'm going to tell you a story about my sister Rose. She was raped and murdered by three men in 1967, um, and that's when I first felt the injustice of the justice system here. The three men went to trial and then they appealed. And when the judge was talking about the appeal, he said that my sister Rose, who was murdered in April, so it was still cold, that she could have helped herself and crawled about, I think it was about 100 feet to save herself, but she had a broken neck and also a broken arm. So the three men, two of the men got a $200 fine. The other one got released for time served, so he spent about a year in jail. My sister Rose was working at St. Joseph's Mission, the residential school we attended. She came into town after one of her jobs, and it wasn't like she drank all the time, but she did go out and she was going to go to a dance and enjoy herself. And in looking back at what happened, it was like, I understand. I understand why she drank, because we all followed suit. Our family was pretty dysfunctional because my grandparents and my parents went to residential school. So we knew all the abuses: spiritual abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, and emotional abuse. So we were from a pretty dysfunctional family. So I knew that when Rose drank, she was trying to escape the pain. I think the hardest part, when I look at what I wrote, is love is forgiving the seemingly unforgivable. Because I had to learn to forgive. I had to learn to forgive my dad, my grandfather, because we were sexually abused by them. So I understood that. I understood why she really looked after us. I understood why the way life turned out. Because one of the things that made me understand what happened was I started to read about my history, about before colonialism and after. So with all that, I took my children to counseling when they were 13, 14, and that's when I learned that to be who we are, to heal before we can move forward, to heal so we can look after ourselves a lot better. It was a tough journey to heal. It was like, man, if I start crying about residential school, I may never stop. It took me probably a year to face it, and I thought, oh man, I'm never going to get out of this. I'm never going to stop crying, but I did, because you have to deal with the issues that keeps you from living. It keeps you from being connected. It keeps you from being so connected that you're going to protect. The men will take the rightful place and be the protectors and the providers, and the women will become the leaders and the nurturers. So with all of this, and looking back at the death of my sister. I'm able to forgive the men that killed her. Not in a religious sense, just not letting what they did fill my heart with hate. Because I had to learn to forgive my dad and my grandfather first, because that would be something that seems unforgivable, but I did it. And I knew that if I didn't heal all this stuff, my children wouldn't be where they are now. And in looking at that, it's going to be tough, but we need to face our pain, to face the issues we have, so that we don't have to deal with the disconnection that we're feeling. Because the way I felt was like it was pretty empty, and pretty scary, really, because I couldn't see a way out. So, the best thing we can do for our families and our children and our grandchildren is to deal with those issues, because we're finding that, it's pretty tough to really see ahead of us if we don't look behind us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have to know our history to ensure that it doesn't repeat itself.
Exactly.
We have to process our traumas so that we can move forward without carrying the heavy weight and the emotion that goes along with the trauma. We'll never forget what happened to us, but we can deal with how we feel about it and how our spirit responds to that. I think you're a real testament to the strength of a woman, the strength of Aboriginal people, and you're a true ambassador of who we are as a human species. You are a powerful woman, and I want you to know that I love you very much, and you have my support.
Thanks, Jam.